Hello everyone, in this lesson let's look at the power of power law. So it says that whenever we have expression in the form of a raised to r whole raised to s, then it is equals to the same base, that is a, and we just multiply the exponent. Suppose let's say we have 5 raised to 2 whole raised to 8. According to this law, this must be equals to the same base, that is 5. We'll keep the same base, and now we just multiply the exponent, that is 2 times 8, which will be equals to 5 raised to 16. So 5 raised to 2 whole raised to 8 is exactly equals to 5 raised to 16. Let's look at some more example. Let's say we have 4 raised to 2 whole raised to 3. So this must be equals to 4 raised to, so we multiply the exponent, that is 2 times 3, which is equals to 4 raised to 6, which is equals to 4096 if we write it in a standard form. Now let's quickly verify if 4 raised to 2 whole raised to 3 is equals to 4 raised to 6. So 4 raised to 3 whole raised to 3 means that 4 raised to 2 is being multiplied for 3 times. That means 4 raised to 2 times 4 raised to 2 times 4 raised to 2. And this 4 raised to 2 means 4 is being multiplied for 2 times. Times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 equals 16 times this is also equals to 16, and then the same thing which is equals to 16. And 16 times 16 times 16 is exactly equals to 4096. So which means yes, this 4 raised to 2 whole raised to 3 is equals to 4 raised to 6. Another example, if we have 5 raised to 3 whole raised to 8, this will be equals to 5, and we simply multiply the exponent, that is 3 times 8, which is equals to 5 raised to 24. Another example will be negative 2 raised to 5 whole raised to 10. This will be equals to, we'll write the same base, that is negative 2, and now we simply multiply 5 times 10, which is equals to 50. Another example, 3 raised to negative 4 whole raised to negative 8. This will be equals to, we'll write the same base, that is 3, and we simply multiply negative 4 times negative 8, which will be equals to 3 raised to 32. Another example could be 6 raised to 2 whole raised to 4 whole raised to negative 2. And this will be equals to, we'll write the same base, that is 6, and we simply multiply all this exponent, that is 2 times 4 times negative 2. And this should be equals to 6 raised to negative 16. And using this rule of negative exponent that says a raised to negative n is equals to 1 divided by a raised to n, I can write this as 1 over 6 raised to 16. So the power becomes positive when you take it down in the denominator. So this law allows us to multiply any number of exponents provided the base is same. Now let's look at this question which says solve for n in each equation. So let's solve for part 1, which is 7 raised to 10 is equals to 7 raised to 2 whole raised to n. This becomes 7 raised to 10 is equals to, I can multiply this 2 exponent, so I can keep the same base, and 2 times n will be 2n. Since the base on the two sides are same, therefore this exponent must be equal, so which means 10 must be equals to 2n. Now divide by 2 on both sides. Since we are finding this value of n, this gets cancelled out, and n equals to 10 divided by 2 will be 5. So the value of n in this case is 5. Let's solve for part 2. You see that this side is given in standard notation and this side is given in exponential form. So the first thing first, let's convert this into exponential form. So I can write this 1 followed by 6 zeros as power of 10, so which is equals to 10 raised to 6. And on the other side we have 10 raised to n whole raised to 2, which becomes 10 raised to 6 equals to 10 raised to n times 2 means 2n. Again the base are same, therefore this exponent must be equals, which means 6 must be equals to 2n. Since we are finding this value of n, so remove this 2 from here by dividing by 2 on both sides. This gets cancelled out, which gives us n equals to 6 divided by 2 means 3. So the value of n equals to 3. Now let's solve for part 3, which is 3 raised to 5 times n raised to 5 is equals to 30 raised to 5. Since we are finding the value of n, so remove this 3 raised to 5 from this side of the equation by dividing 3 raised to 5 on both sides. So 3 raised to 5 times n raised to 5 divided by 3 raised to 5 is equals to 30 raised to 5 divided by 3 raised to 5. 3 raised to 5 and 3 raised to 5 get cancelled out, which leaves us n raised to 5 equals to 30 raised to 5 divided by 3 raised to 5. Now according to the power of question law of exponent, it says that a raised to n divided by b raised to n can be written as a over b whole raised to n. So I can write these two separate powers into a single power using this rule. So let's apply this rule here, which becomes n raised to 5 equals to 30 divided by 3 whole raised to 5. And this is equals to n raised to 5. 30 divided by 3 means 10 raised to 5. Since the exponent on the two sides are same, therefore this base must also be equal. So which means n should be equals to 10. So the value of n here is 10. Now let's go through this last problem. It says simplify the following expression. So let's simplify the first expression. In this case, this exponent applies to both negative 2 and x raised to 3. That means I can write as negative 2 raised to negative 2 times x raised to 3 whole raised to negative 2. This is equals to, using the rule of negative exponent, I can write a raised to negative n as 1 over a raised to n. So I can write this negative 2 raised to negative 2 as 1 over negative 2 raised to 2. The exponent becomes positive while taking down, times x raised to 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. And this is equals to negative 2 raised to 2 means negative 2 times negative 2, which is equals to 4. So I can write it as 1 over 4 times, again this one, that is x raised to negative 6. I can apply this negative law of exponent and I can write it as 1 over x raised to 6, which is equals to 1 over 4 x raised to 6. Now let's look at subpart 2. Exponent 3 will be distributed to all the elements that is inside the bracket. So this 3 will be applied to 3, this exponent 3 will be applied here, this will be applied here, and this will also be applied here. So I can write as 3 raised to 3 times a raised to 4 whole raised to 3 times b raised to negative 2 whole raised to 3 divided by c raised to 3 whole raised to 3. And this is equals to 3 raised to 3 means 27 times a raised to 4 times 3 means 12 times b raised to negative 2 times 3 means negative 6 divided by c raised to 3 times 3 means 9. So let's simplify this a little bit. 27 times a raised to 12 times, I can take this b raised to negative 6 in the denominator and it will become b raised to positive 6. So that means divided by c raised to 9 times b raised to 6. So this is equals to 27 a raised to 12 divided by b raised to 6 times c raised to 9. So this is the simplified one. I hope this video is helpful and thank you for watching.